What's up guys, Matty here. In today's video, we're going to be checking out a new plugin from one of my favorite plugin companies, Newfangled Audio, Recirculate. This is a delay plugin and it might be the best delay plugin ever. I know I'm overselling this, but what you can do with this plugin is pretty amazing. So in today's video, I will show you everything this plugin can do, and trust me, it can do a lot, and we'll take a listen to some examples. Let's go. All right guys, so here's the plugin, and let me just say before we get started, I have not been paid, I'm not endorsed or anything by Newfangled or Eventide to make this video. They just sent me the plugin, and I've been pretty excited about it because I've been playing with it for a while, and it can do a lot of cool stuff. So don't want to oversell it, but I'm no way affiliated with anything that they do. That being said, here is the plugin. They've done a great job of making this plugin simple, but if you want to go down the rabbit hole, you can. And I like it when they do things like that. Some plugins are overly simple or overly complicated. This one is a nice mix of both. Let's go over all the stuff it can do, and then we'll start listening to it so you guys can hear what it can do. All right, starting at the top, you have your grid. So you can go grid, steps, or milliseconds. Just like any delay, it has the first note and then the feedback. Tempo sync, pretty obvious. Snap, so you can do notes dotted or not, triplets or not, or just straight on the beat notes. These are the behavior. We'll take a listen to these. Standard is just regular, obviously ping pong, and then they have this pitch warp and granular options that change the sound a bit. Next is the mixer section. So you have your dry and your wet, and then your feedback. What's cool is that the feedback's linkable, so if you want the delay to travel on forever on the left channel, but just a little bit on the right, you can change that, which I like that feature. Another cool feature that's different than a lot of plugins is the dry signal has this dry effects. And what that means is there's a lot of effects built into this, which we'll get into. You could actually send the dry signal to just the effects part and not the delay. And that gives you a whole nother way of creating cool sounds with this plugin. So that's a cool feature. And then the wet signal has a width control to it. Okay, so next is the delay beat section. Now this is interesting too. You have your first echo, which you can control, and then you have your repeat echoes that you control. The way it is right here is it's all linked. So you're gonna have eighth note just going on down the road, okay? What you can do is change that up. You can have the first echo as eighth note, unclick the echo link, and then your repeat echoes become different. We'll take a listen to this, but so the first echo will be an eighth note, and then the repeat echoes will be 16th notes or whatever you want. So you can get another, once again, you can get a lot of flavors with this delay beat section as well. Moving down, we go to dynamics. Here you have control of transients, compression, and ducking. The transients thing is huge. If you've used any of the Eventide plugins, you have the split EQ where you can boost just the transient section or just pull down the transient section. This can be very helpful for things like what we'll listen to on this rhythm guitar where it's very transienty. Is that a word? Transienty, I guess. And then you can either make those transients pop out of the speakers or pull them all the way back so you're just getting the sustain of the signal. A lot you can do with that. Compression on the delay has been something we've all used for a while now. Have a gate as well. Ducking, huge on the delay, great for vocals and so forth. So the dynamic section is awesome. Moving on to the character section, you have a drive section. What do you think that is? Well, it's distortion and it gives character. And this is where a lot of this dry FX send, if you will, can be helpful on the character section. And then you have hot, crunchy, bite, warm, dark, dirty, all these different characteristics, and then different noise, grime, bit, hiss. So you can make this thing a big character box and not even use the delays at all. It's up to you how you want to create things. And then lastly, I know this is a lot, this is the sound stage. So if you have a spreader, you have a chorus, and then you have a reverb. And that's on the standard. Now, if you notice, when you switch these behaviors, the sound stage, see how it switched to spray here on granular? And when you go to pitch, it goes to mod. And ping pong, it goes back to chorus and reverb. So ping pong and standard are the same, although ping pan, that's right. The ping pong has a ping pan. We'll listen to this soon. So as you change the behaviors, the soundstage settings can change as well. Lastly, the filters. I like the way these filters will work. You can just grab one knob and kind of change the way you want it to filter. I do wish there was a little bit better way to just put a low pass and high pass, but if you move it the correct way, you can kind of get to the same place. But Great to have filters built in so you don't have to do it on an EQ after. Okay, so that was a quick overview of the plugin. I know there's a lot to it. Let's start listening to this thing so we can hear what it does. What I got is this song from my buddy Trip Carter, Little Mama. We just finished it and it's out now. You can check it out on Spotify and Apple Music and all the streaming spots. This is just the guitar from it, and it's a little percussion rhythm guitar. And so I think it's good to demonstrate what this plugin can do. I'm going to play it. And first, let's just start with the mixer and the delay beats. Let's turn off this character and the dynamics and the filter even, and just so we can hear what this can do here. So that's the guitar on its own. Now we're going to bring in the delay and we'll move it around a bit so you guys can hear the delays. Okay, so you see what we did is we got an 1/8 note delay going, right? Turned up the feedback a bit and then switched the echo links, the repeat echoes, to 1/8 notes. So now it's a very straight echo, 1/8 note delay, right? Now let's unlink these and play around with the repeat echoes to see what kind of flavors we can get with that. So you guys heard the difference there, right? When we switched to the 16th note delay, it just changed the whole feel of the guitar, really gave us some excitement. So using the first echo and the repeat echoes in different ways will give you lots of different ideas and sounds you come up with that you might not have with just a regular delay. Okay, so let's move on to the dynamics section and play with that. Now, the compressor, you'll understand as a compressor. We can turn it on and see. Same for the ducking. The transient's where I want to kind of concentrate on here, especially with this percussion-y kind of guitar. Let me play it and we'll boost it up and take a listen. So you hear the transient start poking out a bit more there. Now we can pull the length back and you might hear it even more. Let's see. You hear it even more. Now, what I find cool about this is sometimes you don't want all those transients. You already have the transients from the first echo, right? Or from the actual signal. So let's try pulling this back and see what we can come up with. So you see we get different sounds with that transient, and then the compressor, we were able to pull it up a bit more. All right, next, let's move on to the character. And for this character, let's pull the wet back and turn this dry effects all the way up. So we're just hearing the character sounds, and then we can start blending it together and see what kind of flavors we can come up with. So there's a bunch of character there actually, and putting the drive in. Now let's bring this back to normal, okay? And then let's bring our wet back in. Let's see what this does. So now you hear the delay. It sounds different than the initial hit. So that's what's cool about turning that dry effects down. The initial hit sounds different now. So cool way of changing the way your delay sounds with just a little bit of distortion or noise or whatnot. Lastly, my favorite section, well, not lastly, we still have the filter section, but my favorite section is this soundstage. This is where it can get cool because I love adding choruses and reverbs to my delay. Let's play it now and turn these up and down. So now you're hearing all the different stuff you can do with that. You notice once we spread it, we could bring that transient down. You really started hearing the transients disappearing from the signal. You could go on and on with this thing of all the different features. Let's just check out the behaviors really quick so you guys can hear the differences of those. So you hear the different sounds the pitch warp gives you as well as the granular. And you also saw this, you can pull up your repeats and even turn down your first echo and then change the repeats. So you could make it like, check it out. All right, guys, so one last thing. I want to show you a vocal and show you the preset menu with the vocal. The preset menu can help you really find a bunch of the different flavors this thing has without having to go like down the rabbit hole like we just did with the guitar. So check this out on the vocal. I'm going to go through some presets. You just click on the library, right? And you can type whatever you want. I'm putting vocal in. And then it comes up with different tags that have vocals. So you could put drums. You see, there's all kinds of different stuff. So the sounds you're looking for, if you need a slap or whatnot, there's different categories where you can pick to find what you're looking for. So let's just take a listen. I hope it stayed. Let me see. I have the mix locked because you can lock the mix, the echo, or the tones. I have the mix locked, so we just have a nice blend between delay and dry signal. All right, so let's do this.
2 minutes to midnight. Two-stepping to Brent fires. Too sober to get beside you. Too loaded to sit right here. I don't do this often. Maybe less is more. Pretty be plain Jane watching. I'll put a diamond on you. So tell me what you think, little mama. Do that dancing, got you thinking nasty. I'm just asking, tell me what you drink, little mama. I'm old fashioned, yeah. Romance ain't dead yet, so tell me what you think, little mama. Do that dancing, got you thinking nasty. I'm just asking, tell me what you drink, little mama. I'm old fashioned, yeah. Romance ain't dead yet, really. 1 hour till overtime. One more night of touring on overdrive, yeah. One bottle with one of my niggas. One time for the 9 to 5 women. I don't do this often. Maybe.
All right, so as you guys can hear, there's just a ton you can do with this, different sounds you can get, especially just starting with a preset and then dialing it in after that. All right, guys, so that is Recirculate, quite an in-depth plugin. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You can also find my courses and presets there too. Talk to you soon.